it's really sunny. So I have a ton of
Because your
solar
house,
power.
yes, because your house is solar powered. That's so true. I wish.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like feasible with apartments. Like it is, but it would only be it'd be like supplementary power. Like you'd have like a little bit that you could like tap into, but not enough for all of the apartments.
It would have to be supplementary, and you would have to share the power from the panels between all of the units, which would then
be very difficult.
Yeah. Okay, enough cold open. Take it to the intro. The purpose of this podcast is just a rant about the stuff that we like. So, if that doesn't sound like your cup of tea, this show probably isn't for you. This podcast is recorded on Gadigal and Bidjigal land, and also contains a fair amount of explicit language. We are Australian after all.
If I let you in on this, you've got to promise to keep it on the down low. The less people know about this, the better.
Yeah, call it lazy, I just create what is in my mind. I use the same breaks in my beats sometimes. Wanna decorate my office, so I bought some fake lavenders and speakers, but kaiju on the highway to Los Angeles. Never try to hide you from my life if you can handle it. You know I try to find you in the dark, which is the candlestick. The fellows of my heart always encased in metal shackles. When I look into your eyes, you're like Wonderland of Alice.
Shit, if we can avoid incendiary incidents in real life, then we never have to do anything ever again.
How does that work in the real world?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to Stuff We're Excited About. It's a podcast about stuff we're excited about. My name's Finley.
And I'm Cloud.
I need to talk to you about a television program. I'm getting right into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm cutting the cake.
Go.
I'm slicing
cut
the cheese.
Cut it.
I need to talk about Severance.
Severance. For those who don't know,
on Apple TV Plus,
when did
streaming service that
no one uses. Yeah.
But it is quite possibly the best TV show ever made.
I have heard a lot of people talk about it, and I initially heard about it sometime last year, and I thought it was just like, you know when you're scrolling on TikTok and you see like clips of a show, it was just one of those things where I was like, that's a good concept. It's probably not going to get a lot of traction. It'll just be like one of those little shows you find. But then like this year, I've seen so much on it, and it looks really interesting. And
season 2 started like just a couple weeks ago.
That's why.
That is why.
That's why it's gotten more attention, I assume, because season 2's come out. It's a very interesting concept.
It is a fascinating concept, and it is executed so damn well.
That's really good.
So season 1 came out in 2022. It was not the most successful.
There you go, yeah.
Was greenlit for a season 2 just because of the critical acclaim that it got, because everyone who watched it was like, holy shit, this is one of the best TV shows ever made. And it pretty much immediately, I didn't have to watch much of it for it to pretty quickly, and this is a big statement, pretty quickly dethrone Better Call Saul as my favorite ever TV show.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. And okay, is that...
I'm serious.
Is that because of season 2? Or like season 1 is also...
Just season 1.
Wow.
I've only seen the first episode of season 2. I think there are 3 or 4 episodes out at this point. I guess, actually, when this comes out, the 5th one, I think, will be coming out tonight.
Okay.
Because they come out at 7 p.m. on Fridays for us.
Okay.
Which is like the perfect time for an episode.
Yes.
For TV shows to drop episodes.
Friday night, yeah.
Friday evening.
Yes.
It's like that is the perfect time. So season 1 has 9 episodes. Each one is 45 minutes to an hour long.
Okay, good.
They don't feel like it. They feel like 20 minutes. Because so much shit happens in every episode that they go by like that.
That's good.
It's amazing. And it keeps you on the edge of your seat at every moment. So, I mean, I know that there won't be many people listening to this that don't know the premise, but the premise is that the main character, Mark, works at a company where he has a mandatory procedure in which his memories between the outside world and when he's at work are severed from each other. So when he's at work, can't remember the outside world, cannot remember his own life at all. And when he is at home, can't remember work, can't remember anything that happens after he goes down the elevator.
So
into the basement.
If you think about it as almost like an induced dissociative identity disorder, where this person is split into two different people, but it's the same person, but they have like the different quote alters, and I'm using this word very lightly, come out in the different situations, and they have no idea what the other one is thinking, or like it's two different people, but it's the same person. Like they've been split.
Well, yeah, it's two different halves of the
same person. There you go.
I mean, it's scary. The concept,
especially
thinking about it.
Yes, because if you think about what the person that made the decision is the person that's living on the outside. They have a life. They can do whatever they want. They can, do what they like. They can leave. But the person that's in work, that is all they know.
Yeah.
And if anything...
and that's like the main conflict of the show. That is the linchpin of all of the events of the show, is that maybe you don't want to accept your lot in life if you're the one on the inside.
Yeah. There was... I just read something about the horrifying concept that there's... I don't know if that's like a character on the show of a woman that they mention who has like a split persona only to give birth. Imagine your only waking moments in life are going through labor, and then that's it. And she had like 3 kids or like 2 kids. So imagine you wake up, you give birth, and then, you go back to sleep and you wake up again and you're doing it again like 4 years later. You don't get to meet your child. Yeah. You don't get to raise it. You don't get to see it after the labor's done. That's it. That's all you know. That is horrifying. Yeah. That's like torture.
Like imagine going up the elevator, leaving work, and then the elevator dings and you are on the same floor and it's the next day.
Yeah. That's how it works. It's like instant. Like they don't sleep. They don't know what's like.
It is. Oh. Like they say. Oh, in the first episode, Mark says to one of his employees in his department, he says, I like to focus on the effects of sleep since we don't actually get to experience it. Just focus on, feeling restored and rested, which is
depressing.
It's just...
I don't know.
I can't even put it into words how awful.
And the fact is, I remember seeing clips about like what are they called? Like the work like persona. Like is there a name for that?
There is, and it's actually quite sort of. There's a lot of contention about that in the show because a lot of people don't like the terminology that the company uses because they call them innies and outies, which is very infantilizing. But that's the thing, is that the innies are children. Like Mark in the show, his innie is only like 2.5 years old.
So what do you mean?
He's only been a person for 2.5 years.
Right, because they don't have any memories. Yeah, like, I didn't even
there's another
realize
character
that.
in the show. There's another character in the show.
That is a child.
She essentially acts as like... That's in season 2. I won't talk about her.
Okay.
I won't say anything about her because that's season 2 territory.
Okay.
That's very fresh. I will say I'm pretty sure she's not 7. That character.
Okay.
But you can't be sure with anything in this show, to be honest. You can't be sure about anything.
Yeah, right.
Because it could all be lies. None of it could be real within the context of the show. So one of the characters, she essentially acts as a therapist for the innies. She provides wellness sessions. And she says near the end of season 1, she says, "My life has been 107 hours long, and most of it has been these half-an-hour sessions,
Oh my god.
which is
Because, like, yeah, like, it's not, yeah, they don't have
Yeah.
any memories of a life before that. You're creating a new person.
yeah,
Like, basically conjuring up a conscience that's fully developed but doesn't have any memories. That's all you're doing. That's what the innies
Yeah.
are.
the opening of the show. I don't want to obviously give away too much, but the opening of the show, the kind of perspective character, the POV character that you get, her name's Helly. It is her experience of starting at Lumen, which is the company,
Yeah.
Lumen Industries, and the first thing that she experiences coming into being as a new consciousness
Yes.
is an entry survey that Mark is giving her, in which the questions are, who are you? Actually, I don't know, this is not a good exercise, me trying to remember what the questions are,
Yeah.
but it's essentially just stuff about her life, and then name a US state.
Name
And
a
she
date.
name a US state.
State. Okay.
And she answers unknown for all of them except Delaware.
Delaware. Oh my
Um,
god.
and I think it sums up the atmosphere and the tone of the show so perfectly when Mark opens the door to this, like, essentially sort of boardroom that she's in alone. Just he's talking to her just through a little speaker on the table. He opens this door. He's basically completely in shadow. You can just see his, like, silhouette, and he just says, "That's a perfect score."
Oh.
It's like that is the moment. I mean, it's the first scene, and that is when it fully clicked for me, where I'm like, yeah, I think this might be the best show ever made.
Because I saw a theory, and the theory was to do with their job, and their job is where they have to, as far as I know, you have a screen with a bunch of numbers on it, and you have to group
Macro data refinement.
you have to group
yeah.
you have to group a bunch of numbers and click them to be like because they're not good or something. But after a while,
You have to. So they
yeah.
are grouping numbers. They are sorting data, encrypted data, based on emotions that it elicits.
Yes,
in
like it's
them.
like a feeling that they feel towards the certain numbers that they have to group. But
Yeah.
one thing I saw as part of the theory was that job doesn't actually exist, and they only get the innies to do it to prove that the procedure works. Like that the company that
That's
created
possible.
them
Yeah.
only gives them that job just so the rest of the world sees that we can give innies, like we can split this person into an innie and an outie, and they will do a job. Like the procedure works. So the job that they're doing doesn't actually have any meaning. That was a theory I saw, which I've just been thinking of, like, really interesting. Because if you think about it, it is, from the company's perspective, something that could be like mass marketed. Like,
Oh yeah.
like they want people.
They invented the severance
Exactly.
procedure. They are selling.
They are
severance.
selling the procedure, exactly.
Because
So I feel like
Lumen is a biotech company.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they work for that company, then like that job, they could have just made up the job just so they can do something.
My pet theory is that the data that they are refining as their job is the data from their own chips.
Oh, that's like really like gross and fucked
It
up.
feels kind of
That feels like cannibalism
feels
in a
kinda
way.
gross.
Like getting someone to eat
Kind
their own
of.
leg. That's what it feels like. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's like they are processing the memory data from the severance chip in their own head.
Yeah, like filtering out what's not supposed to be there or something. That's so strange.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
But yeah, I this show,
That I really
You
want
need
to
to
watch
watch
it.
it.
I need to watch it.
you need to watch it.
And considering it's only like
I
9
will-
episodes per season, it'll be easier for me to get through.
Season 2 gonna have 10.
Ooh,
Gonna
okay.
have one more,
That's good.
which is interesting. I don't know whether many shows do that, where like
they
Just
add
season
another
2 just has
one.
one more episode. I wonder whether the season 3 is going to have 11.
They're just
knows?
gonna add on.
'Cause they-
Yeah, that would be funny.
Ben Stiller, who is to direct most of it, that Ben Stiller,
Yes.
Zoolander,
Yeah, that one.
he has confirmed that they are working on a season 3, which
That's
is
so cool.
amazing news. But yeah, damn, I really need to get on and finish or get up to date with season 2 because holy shit, this show is
There's
absolutely incredible.
as a kind of concept for the show, there's so much like morality and like concept of
yeah,
like it's just there's so much like ethical and moral problems that arise with everything, and I find that's so fascinating.
and the
'cause-
characters discuss that.
Mm,
That's a big part of the show
there
as
you
well.
go. Yeah, like it's the
Yeah.
concept when it's within itself. Like, oh, can't even fathom that.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's part of the reason why I love the show so much is that it doesn't shy away from analyzing its own concept,
morbid,
its own
like
synopsis.
it's to me such a morbid concept. Like it's disgusting.
It is not.
and horrible, but it's also so fascinating.
It doesn't exist just as its concept.
Yeah,
It also kind of zooms out from it and discusses it in a meta sense. Which is, I mean, I think TV shows should always do that.
yes,
They should always analyze their own concept.
because there are so many
I
TV
think
shows.
you have failed.
There's so
if you
many.
don't.
Yeah, there's so many TV shows that kind of gloss over some concepts that happen in the show that in real life you wouldn't gloss over those. Like, I know it's a TV show, and like, you know, people like there are writers that write things and they obviously don't think everything through. But for the characters in the show, because they're the ones experiencing it, they're going to think about every little detail about the things they're going
Exactly.
through and about their lives. And some of them aren't going to make sense for how the actor portrays the character. So I think the fact that they're
Yeah.
actually talking about it, like with like kind of have like a not a fourth wall, but in a way that's so like deep and like meta, as you said, that's really fascinating, and it's quite refreshing actually.
Like, you might, like, someone might hear this and think, like, what TV show or what piece of media doesn't do that? They're actually, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot that just kind of take their own concepts at face value and don't
Don't
explore
think about
them
it. Yeah,
whatsoever.
I could name like all the shows I've watched.
Off the top of my head, what, like, something like Transformers
Oh, there you go.
is like, you have alien robots from another planet that are cars,
Why?
and they just kind of don't talk about it.
Yeah,
They just are.
like they're a bunch of
they
metal
don't
and they're
explain
just
it.
conscious, or like
They don't say why. They don't really say how. It's like they just are, and the humans in the stories just accept that.
exactly.
And that is what pisses me off about Transformers.
Because there's so many shows.
We've got way off the rails.
That's completely fine. There's so many shows that I watch where they introduce a concept of magic, but if it were in real life, there would be so many people being like, that doesn't obey the laws of like physics at all. Like I feel like there would be
The
like
science of it.
The science of it. How is no one realizing
science and
that
morality.
The science of it doesn't make sense. How is it possible? How do you not have like teams of people researching this and finding out like deep into like the molecular structure of things? Because it just doesn't make sense. Like how are they not people that are like, hold on, how does this work?
Wait a
I
minute.
do not understand
Yeah.
how it works. Because if it were real life, we would be like that's concerning, the fact that this thing doesn't follow the laws of physics. That's what I
Yeah.
would be most concerned about. If there was some magic guy that could raise things within mind, I'd be like, wait, how? What? I would be more concerned about that, and I wouldn't want anything to do with that, because that's like, again, I could go on. There's a million different series that do that. Transformers is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other series with like smaller things and bigger things where you kind of go, it's weird that they don't actually think that's weird.
Yeah, it's all about just like characters within media taking their circumstances at face value.
Yes.
Which I don't think is something that anyone would do, really. I mean, look at the situation in the world at the moment.
Oh, let's gloss over that. But
Yeah. Let's change topics. What do you want to talk about now?
so, as you've been to my house, right? I'm going to talk about like things in my life.
I have been to your house.
You've been to my house. And in front of my TV, we've got like bookshelves, right?
Yeah.
And
Not
I
in
was
front, next to.
next to my TV, we've got a bunch of bookshelves, and my mum for the longest time has been trying to find a CD stand that matches the same type of wood that the rest of the set is, because it's an IKEA set from like the 2010s, and they don't make it anymore. It's birch, like the furniture in the birch color, because you know how they've got like the white ones and the black ones and the wood ones in IKEA. I was scrolling on Facebook Marketplace, just, you know, for shits and giggles, and I come across this one offer where you can get 6 of the CD bookcases that we were looking for. And I'm like, I'm not sure if this is the exact one. I sent it to my mum and she's like, oh my God, that's it. So we contact the guy.
A Facebook bargain.
We contact the guy on Facebook and he's like, yeah, I'll give them to you. Like, I'll deliver them. And the next day we get them delivered. So I think it was yesterday that they came in. Or the day before yesterday.
How much did you get for? How much?
80 for 4, I think. We got 4 of them. They were offering 6 for 160 or something, and we got.
That is an amazing deal.
Yes, and they like in the listing itself, the guy said these are like rare and they're hard to come by. And you know what the most annoying thing is? They weren't the right color.
Oh.
But you don't realize. I didn't realize until she told me, because I got home and I'm like, oh my God, it looks great. And she's like, they're not birch, they're oak. But you really can't tell. And so the fact, like, it's all cohesive now. So me and my mum have spent the past, like, day organizing all of our DVDs, all of the DVDs that I had in my room that you saw, like all my collections of stuff, all my CDs and all my books into the bookshelves. And I have now just realized how much I have and how much I'm missing. Because I have the beginning of like 5 different series and I don't have the rest. I've got Game of Thrones that I've only got season 4, Smallville, Fear the Walking Dead, Supernatural, Dexter, Hannibal. I've got like all these series and I've left little spaces for them, but I don't think they're all gonna fit. So now I feel like every time this is just giving me an excuse to buy more things, and I love that. Because I now have a new shelf in my room, empty. I have an empty shelf in my room. Look, all that space, I'm showing Finley on the camera now.
Wonderful opportunity.
All this is empty. I'm going to fill that up with who knows what.
Yeah.
And I've got so many like free shelves and it's like, ooh, I like this. But it just kind of reminded me, I feel like I've told you that I've wanted to get a dumb phone for the longest time.
Yeah.
And funny enough, recently I've found myself retreating to so many like analog forms of media that were like
analog in quotations.
In quotations, yes.
It's like
it's
a step backwards,
as opposed to
not quite
to digital.
analog, literally.
Yes,
yeah.
But I just found like the entire day, because I've started school again and we've got our new scenes, and I was listening to the radio while I was working on my scenes. Oh, and that brings me to my other concept, the fact, have you been listening to Triple J's Hottest 100?
No, I have not. I completely forgot that it was happening, because it is today, isn't it?
It was on Saturday.
Oh, they do it the day before.
Day before, yeah.
Right.
Like they released it, so
yeah.
I went to my friend's house and I got there at like 11:30, and for like the next 7 hours we just listened to the entire thing.
Jesus.
It was, some songs were like, I think "Good Luck Babe" by Chapel Roan won, which I'm not really surprised about.
Number 1.
Yeah, Chapel Roan.
That's
"Good Luck Babe."
not a bad pick.
Not bad, yeah.
Because it's a pretty good song.
And
I
then
enjoy it.
"Murder on the Dance Floor" was second, which I really did enjoy because I like that song. But
Wait,
that
came out last year?
Did it? No,
I thought that was so much older.
Really? Oh shit! I thought, yeah, because it feels like one of those.
Wait,
like.
Hang on. I don't even know whether the music has to come out the same year. I know nothing about the Hottest 100.
It should, shouldn't it?
Surely.
Yeah, surely.
Surely.
I just found myself, like, I've been listening to the radio, I've been reading a lot more, I've been, like, all the media that I watch either comes from DVDs all books, which I think is really interesting. Does it?
No, okay. Murder on the Dance Floor came out in 2001.
Oh.
So I guess not.
That doesn't...
So it's not like...
It doesn't...
I mean,
it's not
how
like,
are you gonna find like 100 good enough songs
that
new
released
songs that year?
Yeah, because I think the way it works...
I guess that makes sense.
Because it's a voting... It's by vote, right? So people just vote any song that
any
they
song
think is the best.
Ever.
Yeah, apparently. And the top 100 get the most votes. And so I guess because of Saltburn that Murder on the Dance Floor got popular again. So I guess people were just like, it's a good song, I'll vote for it.
Yeah.
Saltburn was a good movie.
I mean,
I did enjoy it though. So
when I worked at my previous job, we had a radio in our department that my supervisor would put on, and she would always put it on I think it was Kiss
106.5.
some awful station.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Kiss.
And it was just like, it was like the same 5 songs just on repeat.
Yeah.
And I think the only one, it was like, I remember Good Luck Babe was one of them. And I remember it because it's a good song.
Yeah.
The other one, or one of the other ones that I remember just because I hate it so much, like the other 3 are completely forgettable.
Yeah.
Because they're just regular, completely
like pop
just
songs.
bog standard pop.
Yeah.
The other one, also bog standard pop. I just remember it because I fucking hate the song so much.
What is it?
It's that one, I don't even know what it's called. It's that one that's like, so I pour me up a double shot of whiskey. It's like...
Oh, yeah, that one. I hate that one. I don't like that because it's played too much.
This song makes me want to kill myself. It makes me want to kill myself.
There are some songs that become bad because they're so overplayed. Like, what was that?
That song isn't good.
Astronaut in the Ocean or something? That was like, oh my god. I hate it now. It's so bad, and I feel bad for the artists because it all just blends into the same, like...
Astronaut in the Ocean wasn't good in the first place either. That's
Exactly.
the most ridiculous song that exists.
Exactly. And so, they all just blend into like the same genre of music, and I feel so bad, but also not really for the artists that make them, because
basically every pop song released nowadays sounds
is
exactly
the same thing.
The same.
Oh.
And that is because they are like, they're produced by the same,
by the
like,
same
3
5 people. Yeah.
Yeah. It's completely ridiculous. The music industry, you have to separate them basically.
Yeah.
Like, you have like the indie.
Yeah.
I have not engaged with pop music in any considerable way for
a while,
10 years at least.
Yeah.
And it is amazing to me how stagnated it is.
Oh,
and like I'm doing a thing this year where I'm listening to an album every day.
Yes.
And I don't think I've listened to 27 so far. Not a single one was released in like the past
5 years.
Actually, no. There've been like 2 that have been released in the past 5 years.
Yeah. Because wasn't there like a Yeet album on there or something?
There was a Yeet album, and I gave it a 6 out of 10 because it was a very nothing burger album.
Because isn't there that like thing about recession pop? Isn't that like coming back or something?
Recession pop, yeah.
Is that like a concept
Recession
people
pop.
talk about?
Yeah.
Because you've always got these songs from like the 2000s, like a lot of like Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, like Pitbull songs that are like party songs that like I associate the 2000s with. They're all fucking bangers. What happened?
Well, yeah.
In my opinion, I think they're bangers, and I'm just like there were some really good songs from that time that people would call recession pop. I don't think there's been anything like that again for a while.
Well, yeah, there's recession pop, but then there's also like recession pop is a very nebulous.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, what do you
genre.
consider?
Yeah. Anyway, this is. I mean, I hate to leave it on a stuff we're not excited about, but we
But-
kind of have to wrap up.
That was a quick half an hour.
It was. That went by very quickly, like
But-
an episode of Severance.
Yay! I got new bookshelves. CD
New
shelves.
bookshelves, yay!
And DVD shelves because they
CD
fit because you can move the things.
Ah, okay,
so I can
cool.
make like a really long one, like a really short one.
I should probably just rattle off a couple of things.
Go.
No Switch 2 news. Nothing really happening in Marvel Rivals. Actually, they're having their like Lunar New Year event.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
They've basically
Are they
there
like-
was a game mode in Overwatch called Lucio Ball, which is basically just like soccer, and they've essentially just ripped that off completely. It's
Oh.
kind of fun. It's really difficult.
Oh,
Basically nothing happening in Fortnite either.
yeah.
So
The
yeah.
floristry game
Kind
that
of an
that I've been waiting for on Twitch
Still not
hasn't
out?
come out yet. No, I'm waiting. What? There's not even like they haven't even said like maybe release date. It's like completely up in the air. No
it's
one
an
knows.
indie game. Indie games are the definition of nebulous release
It
windows.
hurts.
I
It
keep saying
hurts
the
so
word
bad.
nebulous, but
I'm so excited to play it. It's like the one game that I actually like really want to play. That I'm like gripping my seat. Like when is it coming out? Where is it? We've been waiting months. Please.
yeah. But yeah, it's been kind of an uneventful week in terms of entertainment
Yeah.
and stuff that I am personally interested in, but it's kind of been an awful week in the world.
In general. So
And we need to this podcast is a distraction
this keeps us
and a
sane
diversion.
from
It
everything
keeps us
else
sane.
in the world.
So thank you for listening.
Thanks everyone.
Hopefully we're helping
also
to keep you
Keep
sane.
you and distracted from the world. Even if it's just for a half hour
not
every
necessarily distracted, but like diverted.
week. Yes. And to think about
Yeah.
some of the more positive things in life, hopefully. We try.
Pay attention to your local politics.
Yes.
Don't vote for idiots.
Do
Please.
your own research. Very important.
Thanks to 2K Doppler for the use of our theme song, Breeze off the album Brooks Brain Dump. Oh, shit, I forgot to say!
What?
We finished the script for the pilot for Brooklyn Broke the Universe last night.
Ooh, well, don't say any more. We can talk about that's
Next week.
Next
Actually,
week.
can't say anything. I can't say
anything more. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's all. Congrats.
That's it.
great.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next week.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
We can avoid incendiary incidents in real life, and we never have to do anything ever again.
How does that work in the real world?